Welcome to the Friday Five with Steve Greenfield on CBT News.
Welcome to this week's Friday Five, where we recap the last week's automotive technology deals. This is Steve Greenfield from Automotive Ventures, and thanks for joining us. We've got a number of deals to recap this week, so let's dive right in. Well, we finally got to witness the IPO of ACV Auctions, and to say that shareholders received the offering well would be an understatement. First, the offering was oversubscribed. ACV raised $414 million at an offering price well above its marketed range. The company previously expected to raise only about $314 million. ACV shareholders sold 16.55 million shares in the IPO for $25 each. The company had marketed shares at $20 to $22 each, a range that it earlier elevated from $18 to $20. In addition to an oversubscribed offering, ACV shares gained 25% in its first day of trading to close at $31.25 on Wednesday. The IPO implies a market value for the company of about $3.9 billion. ACV's biggest backer, Bessemer Venture Partners, now controls as much as 29% of the shareholder voting power after the listing. The shares trade on the NASDAQ under the symbol ACVA. Congratulations to the ACV team for such a successful IPO. We reported here a couple of weeks back that Vista Equity Partners was in conversations with Apollo Strategic Growth Capital about a potential SPAC to take three of Vista's portfolio companies public: Solera, DealerSocket, and Omnitracs, in what could have been a $15 billion transaction. Word this week is that Vista's negotiations with Apollo have been called off. We'll keep an ear out if anything changes and report back here on the Friday Five. Big news this week in one of the hottest areas of the auto tech landscape, digital retailing. NASDAQ company Upstart Holdings, a leading artificial intelligence lending platform, announced it has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Prodigy Software, a provider of cloud-based automotive digital retailing tools to dealers. Prodigy Software's acquisition by Upstart was for a total consideration of $100 million, 85% of which was payable in shares of common stock and 15% payable in cash. Congratulations to the Prodigy team. AI startup LGN has secured $2 million in funding to help businesses build better and more resilient AI models faster and at scale. Backed by automotive manufacturer Jaguar Land Rover, as well as Trucks Venture Capital and Luminous Ventures, the UK-based company's aim is to support organizations in developing their use of edge AI in the real world rather than in the lab. LGN helps firms make the most of the benefits of having thousands of endpoints collecting data by getting autonomous systems into the real world, learning and iterating from actual data rather than testing models in the laboratory. It does so by scaling out edge AI deployments, improving resiliency in those models, and optimizing the hardware and physical devices that make up endpoints at the edge. Automotive Keys Group, a portfolio company of Kinderhook Partners, has acquired Midwest Keyless Inc., a remanufacturer and distributor of replacement OEM and aftermarket keyless entry remotes and keys, as well as key cutting and programming equipment. Financial terms of the transaction were not disclosed. Midwest Keyless serves over 3,000 locksmiths and automotive professionals throughout the United States and Canada and provides leading technical support and ongoing education through its on-staff experts and training seminars on programming and key cutting equipment. Self-driving truck startup Too Simple filed for a U.S. IPO offering. The company, backed by Volkswagen AG's commercial trucking unit, Traton Group, and UPS, is developing self-driving trucks with Navistar that are slated to start production in 2024. It launched a self-driving freight network partnership with UPS and Berkshire Hathaway's supply chain unit McLean Company in July that it said would be operational nationwide by 2024. Founded back in 2015, Too Simple's revenue more than doubled to $1.8 million in the year ended December 31st. Net loss attributable to Collins stockholders widened to $198.8 million from a loss of $145 million a year prior. Chinese autonomous driving startup Momentai.ai has received $500 million from SAIC Motor Company, Toyota Motor Company, and auto parts supplier Bosch as the global auto industry pursues the autonomous future. Other investors in the funding round include Daimler AG, Temasek, Yongfeng Capital, and Tencent. The 4-year-old firm is testing autonomous cars in Beijing and China's eastern city of Suzhou, and has a research center in Germany's Stuttgart. So on to our companies to watch. Every week we highlight interesting companies in the automotive technology space to keep an eye on. If you have a chance to read my monthly Intel report, I showcase a few companies each month, and we take the opportunity here on the Friday Five to share some of those companies each week with you. Today our company to watch is 564. 564 was founded by Hoke Smith and is located in Claiborne, Texas. 564 is a one-stop solution for interstate and state vehicle registration, including all 50 states plus the District of Columbia. The company's fee calculator determines taxable value, accurate taxes, and fees. Dealers can quickly calculate fees and print forms. 564 identifies to whom the check is payable and how much should be paid. In some states, there can be more than one check needed to pay the taxing authority. You control the process, no middleman required. You simply enter the buyer's address, the VIN, and the sales price, and then select the Calculate Fees button. 564 will return a summary and a detailed version of the tax, title, and registration fees. The summary is used by dealers to update their buyer's purchase order. State forms include a cover sheet, fee breakdown, and required forms such as the title application, power of attorney, and VIN inspection. State forms are editable and group print at one time, providing the required documents to send to a buyer for signature and or to submit to a state for title and registration. With more vehicle transactions happening online, it's more critical than ever that both dealers and online players have the ability to conduct cross-state vehicle registrations without error, as well as calculating what can sometimes be dauntingly complex accurate taxes and fees to derive the proper and accurate monthly payment. 564 provides a key building block of many companies' digital retailing strategies. So that's your weekly Friday Five, a quick wrap up of the big deals in the automotive technology space over the past week. It's really an exciting time to be in the automotive space with a ton of deals going on. Make sure you stay tuned in each week to stay up to date on the auto industry's technology M&A activity. I'll keep my fingers on the pulse of deals being done so I can share updates each week with you. If you're an early stage automotive technology entrepreneur looking to raise money, or an entrepreneur who wants to chat about the best timing and process to sell your company to achieve the best outcome, I'd love to discuss with you. Thank you for tuning in to CBT News for this week's Friday Five, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Friday Five.